y eso es bastante crítico, porque a pesar de que han mandado el ejército y la policía en diferentes comunidades, los crímenes siguen sucediendo. En el caso de Nestora Salgado, como ustedes saben, y todo el mundo está consciente de eso, de que ella está totalmente incomunicada, sin haber cometido ningún crimen, ella es inocente, así como los demás policías comunitarios que se han acogido a la Organización Internacional del Trabajo, y sin embargo esa ley sigue violándose. Entonces les pedimos a ustedes de que por favor hagan llegar esta carta, este mensaje al gobierno mexicano, y que sepan que estamos protestando por la vida de esta mujer y por todos los policías comunitarios que están siendo torturados en este momento, porque el hecho de estar detenidos e incomunicados es una tortura para ellos. Yo creo que por lo menos como seres humanos que somos, debemos ser conscientes de que la vida de estas personas está en peligro. Incluso el caso de Nestora Salgado, de estar detenida con 2 mujeres de los Zetas. Entonces les pedimos a ustedes que por favor escuchen este mensaje y que lo lleven al gobierno mexicano.
Do you have a letter?
I do have a letter, and I
want to convey to the Mexican. I'm going to prepare right away. Report all the statements. I'm going to send it to Mexico right now. Okay. But if you have something written,
yes, I do. I have. This is a letter to the president of the United States, Mexico, and this is the list of people who have endorsed this campaign.
Okay.
And just so that he understands and your government understands that the eyes of a lot of the world are on Mexico for its treatment of women, of indigenous people, and of its civil liberties record, which is not looking very good right now. And in summary, this basic letter, I just wanted to say a couple things that's in this letter for people. That Nestora was arrested in violation of every legal principle in a country where people are forced to leave because of the lack of democracy and the actual denial and of basic public services. She was there working to feed and help clothe the very people who were suffering this injustice, and they have been arrested along with several others, even though they've committed no crimes at all. And we consider that the government of Mexico has colluded with state governors and mayors and violated the Constitution and local laws and the human rights of detainees and accused them of absurd crimes like terrorism and kidnapping. The community police that she was a part of were democratically elected by a vote, and they've been doing their job by ensuring safety, like stopping rapes and murders. We should do so well in this city, while state officials favor corruption and organized crime. We urge the government to stop criminalizing these people who are trying to provide for the minimum standards that is not provided by the government. Indigenous Mexicans have been forced to turn to their own regulatory systems because the state has failed them. Meanwhile, they are being punished by the Mexican government, people who are seeking to defend their own people. This coalition, represented by all of these people and more, we demand the immediate release of Nestora Salgado and the many others who are also arrested. And we will continue to protest in the United States because the Mexican government appears to have turned its back on its own people. We think that the U.S. government has turned its back on many of its people, like us also. We think that on International Human Rights Day, it's right to pledge that we're going to continue to work with other political organizations because democracy is broken in Mexico. That's a summary of that letter. But I also wanted to introduce you to Andy Diaz, who represents an indigenous organization, and he would like to just say something about what he thinks of this case.
I'm saying in English because my Spanish is not really great. But yeah, this is once again a case where Mexico is founded on the indigenous culture, the indigenous civilization, the indigenous history. And it's so sad that throughout the world, our country is projected on indigenous culture, down to the flag, down to our food, down to our even Spanish, which is not 100% Castilian. So it is so sad that we treat our people this way. It's not just Guerrero, it's just everywhere else. And we have this one woman that goes there and tries to make a difference lawfully, protected by the Constitution, protected by the law's articles, and yet we persecute her.